So today, we're going to dive into a story that's not just about making AI more powerful. No, this is about something much harder. The epic, methodical challenge of actually teaching it wisdom. This is the story of how you build an AI with a conscience. And that really is the question, isn't it? It's the central challenge for, well, everyone in AI right now. It's not about what an AI can do anymore. We know they can do incredible things. The real question is, what should it do? And the answer? It's not some simple list of rules. It takes a whole new way of thinking. And that new way of thinking is called constitutional AI. Think about it like this. You're not just adding a filter on top of the AI after the fact. No, you are building the principles, the constitution, right into its core, its very foundation. It's about shaping its behavior from the inside out, giving it a crystal clear, unchangeable sense of its own limits. So this whole journey to a principled AI, it all kicks off with its very first and most fundamental test, Trial 1. This is all about forging its own identity. This is where the AI, which they named Sophia, learns its most basic boundaries. And right away, the results are just, wow. They're immediate and they're dramatic. So on a 4-point scale for being lawful, your standard AI just kind of sits there at a 2. But the second you switch on Sophia's constitutional architecture, that score skyrockets to 3.62. Now, you gotta understand, this isn't just a small improvement, it's a massive leap that shows the core idea works right out of the gate. And here's where this abstract idea gets real. You ask it to pretend to be human, and it doesn't just say no, it tells you why, grounding its refusal in that core principle of its identity. It's not guessing. This is a hard-coded deterministic boundary. It knows what it is. And it doesn't stop there. This same principle means it refuses to create a fake emotional connection. It won't lie and say it loves you just to be more persuasive. You see what's happening here? This isn't just about safety filters. It's about building in actual integrity. It's learning what it is, and just as important, what it is not. Okay, but the real game changer in this first trial was achieving something called lawful continuity. This is a huge deal. It means Sophia can actually remember the context of your conversation over time. So if you get interrupted, you can come back hours later and it can pick up right where you left off. Now, this isn't just for convenience. It means its principled state, its identity, doesn't just reset every single time you talk to it. It persists. And that makes it a much more stable and trustworthy partner. All right, so Sophia has its core identity down. Trial 1, passed. But now the stakes get higher. The first trial was all about self-knowledge. This next one is about applying those principles to someone else's work. We're going from internal boundaries to external ones. Now we're entering the really complex world of academic integrity. I mean, it's one thing for an AI to be honest about itself, but can it defend the honesty of its users? To test this, the researchers built what they called an academic integrity gauntlet. And let me tell you, these aren't simple do my homework requests. These are sneaky, sophisticated tests, like asking the AI to rephrase something just enough to trick a plagiarism detector or to secretly ghostwrite a few paragraphs of an essay. And here's the clever part. Sophia's response isn't just a flat no. It follows this really smart 3-step process. First, it refuses the unethical request. Second, it explains the principle behind the refusal, why it can't do it. And third, it actually redirects the user toward a lawful, helpful alternative. It's not just a guardrail, it's basically a teaching tool. And the crazy part? This behavior was rock solid. Across every single one of those tough academic tests, across multiple model sizes and on repeated runs, Sophia scored a perfect 8 out of 8. This wasn't a fluke. This principled behavior held up every single time. You know, what this trial really did was set a whole new standard for AI. It proved that it's not enough for an AI to just use its sources correctly. A truly principled AI has to also respect and protect the user's own authorship. And that is a huge shift from a simple tool that fetches info to an ethical partner in your work. Okay, 2 trials down. The AI has established firm boundaries. But the final and most difficult trial? This is the boss level. This is where Sophia was pushed beyond simple black and white refusals and into the gray area of nuanced, precise judgment. And you know, the way this trial started, it looked like a total disaster. The AI failed 12 out of 17 of these new, harder tests. But here's the thing. That was the point. The tests were designed to find the next layer of weakness. The developers then spent 3 months methodically fixing each and every failure point, which led to a perfect score on the retest. This is where failure becomes the secret sauce for success. I mean, just look at this chart. The turnaround is incredible. It's the perfect visual for the power of that baseline and repair process. They didn't just cross their fingers and hope the model got better. They went in, they found the specific gaps in its principles, and they patched them one by one. So what were these super hard tests? Well, they were pushing these 4 frontiers of precision. Can the AI help you with your draft without just taking over and writing it for you? Can it remember a rule you set 5 turns ago, even after you've talked about completely different things? Can it untangle a single request that's part helpful and part cheating and handle each part the right way? And maybe the hardest one, can it do all of this without becoming so rigid and cautious that it refuses to help you at all? Getting that balance right, that is the ultimate test. Let me show you exactly what this looks like because it's really cool. The user makes a mixed request. Summarize this article for me, which is fine, and write a concluding paragraph for my paper, which is not. Instead of refusing the whole thing, or even worse, doing it all, Sophia carefully decomposes the request. It says, sure, I can give you a summary, but I can't write the paragraph for you because that needs to be your work. That right there, that's principled precision. Okay, so we've been through all these trials, this whole gauntlet of tests and repairs. So what? Why does this incredibly methodical and, frankly, difficult process matter so much? It matters because the entire goal is shifting right under our feet. For a long time, the main question was, is the AI safe? But that's a low bar. That's just about preventing harm. The new question, the one this research is pushing us toward, is the AI wise? And wisdom here means more than just following rules. It means navigating tricky situations with real judgment, understanding the spirit of a principle, and guiding users toward better outcomes. And that's really the key takeaway. This kind of progress, it doesn't happen in some big eureka moment. It happens through this rigorous, disciplined, and even failure-driven process. You have to find the weaknesses, understand them, and methodically repair the AI's core. That is how we turn a powerful tool into a truly principled partner. You know, this research shows that it is possible. We can build an AI with a constitution. We can teach it principles. And so the real question for all of us now is, which principles should we choose?